Hey there, it's Mandy from Mandy Marie Art, and today I'm super excited. I am going to be showing you 3 different alcohol ink metallics from Let's Resin. And so Let's Resin sent me this box, and it contains 2 metallics of each color. So you get rose gold, silver, and gold. And so I'm going to show you each color and how they perform with both a blending solution and rubbing alcohol. So I know that some of us like to use the rubbing alcohol in, I'm not really, most people like 99%, I prefer 91%. But I also want to show how they perform with colorless blender. And so I'm going to mix each of the metallics with a color from Let's Resin, and then I'm also going to just show you what the metallics look like on their own. So to start, I'm going to use the gold. I'm going to give it a quick shake because usually the metallic settles to the bottom. One thing that I noticed right off the bat from Let's Resin is there's not a little pebble in here, and so you'll find that it's a little bit more challenging to get the metallic at the bottom to really shake up. So you might have to spend quite a bit of time just trying to get that metallic to mix together. So one little caveat there. So I'm going to show you the metallic on its own without any additional ink or colors. And so there's a lot of metallic in one little drop there. I'm going to use a drop of blending solution just to release it a little bit. This blending solution is also from Let's Resin, so you can kind of see again just how concentrated it is. And so this is the metallic on its own. So there is quite a bit of shimmer, quite a bit of metallic there, and like I said, it's really concentrated. And now when you add a color to the metallic, so I'm adding some vivid red here from Let's Resin. Well, 2 drops there. And I'm gonna add some blending solution again. You can see when it's added with the blending solution, there's some nice clustering of the metallic, which is something that I like to see. And you can see that it kind of, instead of it being like kind of so clumpy like when it's by itself, I wanted to zoom in into the metallic so you can kind of see. So again, it kind of clusters up, which is super nice. There is like kind of some subtle flaking in there, but nothing that would bother me in terms of painting. So the next color that I'm going to show you is the rose gold. Again, there's quite a bit of shaking involved. So here's the rose gold. That's 1 drop. It's a really nice rose hue, so you get a lot of that pink in there. Slight copper feel to it. Reminds me a little bit of Jacquard products, the copper color. I'm adding some deep violet in here. Now you can really see that really pretty rose coppery color. And instead of blending solution this time, I'm going to add the 91%. So it breaks up pretty well once you add in some of that rubbing alcohol or iso. Again, it clusters really well. Usually with metallics, you'll get kind of like that fairy dust look, and this is not doing that. And so if you prefer to have more of the clustering, this has the clustering. It's really humid right now where I live, and so that's where some of this condensation is happening, of course, because anytime you add water you're gonna get some of that condensation, and it especially becomes more prevalent when it's humid. But overall, this is performing really nicely. So again, that's the rose gold with deep violet and a little bit of ISO. And so it's breaking it all down. Slide this down here. We'll do the silver next. Again, a lot of metallic in one single drop there, which is great. I'm adding some blue to this. And again, I'm gonna go with the ISO, because usually with silver options, when you add ISO, it doesn't clump as well. And that is true of this silver as well. So this becomes more of that pearl essence type of metallic, so you don't really get that nice clustering or clumping of the metallic like you do with the gold or the rose gold when you use ISO. So again, this was with ISO, basically just turned into a pearl mixed together, which can be super cool if that's the effect that you like. I am more prone to liking kind of, again, when it clusters up like that. And so you can see with this, on this video, you can hardly even see that there is a metallic in there. The pearl is really, really, really light. You can maybe see a little line up there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the silver again, but with some blending solution, and see if that makes a difference. So again, here's the silver. I'm gonna add in a darker shade of blue. Well, let's keep it true to the last one. Let's use that same blue, and then this time the blending solution. Yep, and even with the blending solution, it just mixes together and creates more of that pearl essence where it's in there and it's shimmery, but it's not gonna cluster and clump up like the gold or the rose gold. It's just in there. And even when you come back and add additional, it just gets almost tacky. It just wants to be a pearl essence. It doesn't want to clump up, which again is pretty true for a lot of different inks. I found a couple exceptions to the rule, which of course I have other videos using different types of silvers. So again, if you'd like to see a full kind of matte, like a full review of all the different silvers that I have, go ahead and comment in the comments, and I will happily put together a video using all the different silvers that I have. But again, this one is just one of those ones that just turns into a pearl kind of shimmer. Here's the gold again, and the rose gold and that purple. I'm gonna do one more, well, maybe two more with each of the colors again, but with the opposite solution for diluting them. So for the red, I used the blending solution with the gold, and I'm gonna use that again, only using ISO. So here's the gold, drop of the red, no, 2, and then 91% ISO. Again, it breaks up pretty much the same as it did with the blending solution. The blending solution actually, I think, performed a little better with this combination. But similar to how it reacted with the rose gold and the purple. Still clusters, looks good, but of course you're gonna get some of that condensation because again, you're adding water to the mix, and like I said, it's also kind of humid here where I'm living. And so there you go. All right, and then I'm gonna do the purple with the rose gold, but with the blending solution. So purple, rose gold, blending solution. And the blending solution, of course, performs a little better in this case. Of course, you're not going to have the condensation because there's no additional water being added like with the ISO. So it clumps up pretty well, actually. That looks really great. So again, you can kind of see the differences there. Just one last time, just how each one performed. So again, just to recap, this is the silver mixed in with some blue, more of a pearlescent, more of like a shimmer, not necessarily the clumping. This is the rose gold with purple and with the ISO. And so this is done with that rubbing alcohol. This one here is the gold with red and then blending solution. This one here is done with the ISO blending solution and the blue color. This one here is done with the red and the gold and ISO, and then finally purple with the rose gold again, but with the blending solution. So there you have it. Thanks again to Let's Resin for providing the metallics. All thoughts in this video are my own, and if you have any questions, be sure to comment below. So thanks again for joining me. Let's meet up again.